All right, so here is my finished writing piece. Took everything straight from my graphic organizer, picked it up, and put it right back on here, nice and neat in my best handwriting. So now this should say everything that I had said before with those changes that I made. So anything that I added, anything that I moved, removed, substituted, and every single thing in here should be spelled correctly. It should have the correct punctuation mark. It should be capital if it needs to be capital, and it should make sense in proper English. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reread it, and then I'm going to use my highlighters that I have here to underline the correct parts of it. So if you remember, T was green, any I's were yellow, D was orange, and our E was pink. I get it if you don't have the highlighters at home. Maybe you have crayons that you can use to underline it. If you don't have either, do not go nuts. You don't need to go outside and get any. It's fine. But if you do, this is the step that we would be doing in class if we had finished. So in this unit, we read about people who made important contributions to the United States. One important person was Theodore Roosevelt. These are some of the ways Theodore Roosevelt did things to help our country. I'm going to take this, I'm going to underline all of this in green because this is my topic sentence. And I want to make sure it stands out as such. Okay. Teddy used his power as president in a new way. He told businesses that they must not join together to keep prices high. That's my I. So I'm going to underline it in yellow. I took that information straight from the book. It's important evidence. Now I'm going to use my orange for my detailed examination, everything that came from my head. This shows how Teddy did what he thought was right and fair for everyone with the square deal. As president, he set aside 230 million acres of land for national parks, wildlife lands, and forests. Teddy loved nature so much, and because of this, actually, hold on, going too far. I'm going to stop at forests with yellow. Now I'm realizing that this part came from my head. So Teddy loved nature so much, and because of this, he wanted to preserve it and share it with the people of the United States. So that's got to be an orange because that's my detailed examination. Another way Teddy helped the United States was through his plan to build a canal in Central America. At the time, sailing from Florida to California took a very long time. Because of the Panama Canal, ships could travel more quickly. All that I learned straight from the text. You would be underlining anything that you learned straight from Brain Pop or Brain Pop Junior. And then this helped the United States become stronger because they could trade more. And last but not least, I have now my ending statement, and I want to highlight that in pink. In this unit, we read about people who made some important contributions to the United States. One important person was Theodore Roosevelt. These are just some of the ways that Teddy made contributions to help our country. So I'm going to underline this whole part in pink. And finally, that's my whole writing piece done. That's everything that we needed to do, all our steps for SRSD. It's taking our PRO and W, using Tide to get our topic, sentence, um, our important evidence, our detailed examination, and our conclusion. I have 3 I's and D's here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which gives me all 3 that I needed, because if you remember in the prompt, it said I needed to include 3 facts, and they're definitely in there. It's all together. It all makes sense. It's written in my neatest handwriting, and it's the best piece that I could possibly do, especially from home. So what you'll do now is you'll take your writing that you should have already nice, neat, and clean, and you can highlight it or use a crayon or a colored pencil or whatever you have around to highlight where your stuff is. This is also a good way to help us see or help us make sure that we didn't miss anything. That way, once it's highlighted, you can kind of see that you have your T, your I, your D, I, D, I, D, and then E finally at the end. So that's what you'll do now for your own person. And then wait for directions to follow for how I'll have you submit that final paper or that final work to me. All right?